everyone, this is Peggy for Cropstop.com, and today I want to show you one of the most awesome things I've seen in quite some time. I know I say that a lot, but Haley Jo sent these to me, and I'm telling you what, they are just to die for. You want to know what I'm talking about? If you look real close, I'll let the camera come in real close. I stamped right in the center of these flowers and gave them that dimension. This is a brand new thing to me, and I think it's relatively new at Cropstop. It's from Heartfelt Creations, and it's these stamps. And the most cool thing about them, these will match our nestabilities. Wait till you see how we do this. What I'd like to do first is to show you some of the tools and supplies that you're going to need to do this card. Or you could do any shaped card. Actually, the card that I designed, I did not design that card. I borrowed that from Heartfelt Creations. Just changed the colors a little bit, but it was so awesome I just couldn't pass it up. So some of the things we're going to be using today are the stamps from Heartfelt Creations, and if you'll go to Cropstop.com, she has them listed, Haley Jo has them listed for you. This particular set goes with the Nestabilities Blossoms 2, so it tells you which ones that you need. The one thing I didn't do, which now is on my honey-do list I got to get, are leaves, because there are also leaves that you can do, and these are companion stamps. So as you see here, I got this one, and this one matches the Blossoms 2. So let me show you what you need to do when we get to that point. The other thing I used in this particular card, I used a Swiss Dots embossing folder and my Cuttlebug, of course, from Sizzix. I used the Martha Stewart Butterfly, the big one. I think it's called a Monarch. I started writing them on there, but this one didn't get its name on there. I'm going to reach across here. I love these Border Punches by Martha Stewart. They're huge. Let me just bring that card back in and show you. Look at that. It makes it look like it's a lattice fence right behind there, and the flowers are hanging over the top. Isn't that just so cool? The other thing that's nice is that you can use these on your scrapbook pages and go all the way down the side, and you've got a whole border there. So they are very, very nice. And of course, all of these things you can get over at Cropstop. The other things I used were several different colors of the Memento inks. I absolutely love these inks. They are fast drying. They're fade resistant, and they're waterproof, so when you are coloring with your Copic markers or with any markers, they will not bleed all over the place. You know, sometimes you get them and you get that black yucky look. So these are the colors I'm using. The Rich Cocoa is one of my favorites, along with the black. The Bamboo Leaves and Bamboo Leaves and Potter's Clay. So those are the inks we're going to use. The other thing we're going to use, which is something that's pretty cool, are the distressed stickles. The really unique thing about the distressed stickles is that you can heat set these, and they give you a different texture. You cannot do that with the other stickles. You can only do it with the distressed one, so don't try it. All right, let's see what else we use. Oh, and I used one of these little finger color things. I don't know what they're really called. Finger colorer, how's that? So we're going to use that. All right, now let me show you how we're going to get started. Now the trick to doing these, or I should say the technique, not a trick, it's the technique, is to make yourself a template. And I went ahead and left mine on here because these stamps match perfectly with these nestabilities, and I don't foresee using them with anything else, so I thought, made the template, might as well just keep it. So what we're going to do is use our Cuttlebug with our nestability. You're going to use your A plate, mine's upside down but it doesn't matter, an A plate, a B plate, your cardstock, your die, and a C plate. And we're going to run that through there. That little clicking noise is okay. Some people like freak out when I do classes and they hear that. They're like, oh my gosh, I think I broke your machine. But they didn't. It just makes that noise. Let me get these plates out of our way because we're not going to need those again. And then it's really nice that that stayed in there, because what I want to do is just to pop that out. But I want to keep this in here as best I can and lay it down, and then I get some tape, some of that removable tape or whatever you call it. It doesn't stick real hard, and I'm going to put that in there. Some people also will, I've seen them do it, and they do this in a video that I saw. They'll kind of take this and get some of the stickiness off of it. Now you wonder why I'm doing that. It's because after I stamp my image, then I want to be able to put this on there and match it up. Oh, I just taped it to my board there. So, now let me show you what we're going to do. I like to also stamp my flowers, now that I have these. I like to stamp them on colored cardstock. That saves me an extra step. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use the Rich Cocoa ink pad, and we'll ink it up. And again, I'm using my little foam here. I just think that makes all the world of difference when you're stamping. And I'm going to press it in there and get a good image. Look at that. I mean, even just like that, if you just stamp this up the side of your page or the side of your card and just colored it in, you wouldn't even have to cut it out. So they do have more than one use, of course. Let me move this. Now that I've got my image stamp, I'm going to use my template. I'm going to flip it open, and then I'm going to line it up so that I can see exactly where my lines are going to be. And let's see. That looks pretty good there. Then I'm going to flip my little template down. Bring old Cuddlebug back in here. All right. And there we go. Now do you see the lines are around the edge? They're not exactly perfect, but I know how to fix that, and I'm sure all of you do as well. So let me show you my little trick that you probably already know. I just bring in my rich cocoa ink, and I'm just going to ink up those edges. Just like that. There you are. So those little edges that might not have had enough ink on the edge, now they have plenty. And I'm working on a craft mat here, and I'm going to go ahead and ink this up for you just to show you how cool, because I've already got the yellow, and I'm going to use a little bit more of that as well. I'm just going to use my little doodad here. I'm going to color up the center. And of course, you know, with it being ink and you're doing it the way everybody's going to do it a little bit different, each flower is going to look a little different, but not all flowers are exactly alike if you look close. Just put a little bit of brown around the edges here to highlight that brown a little bit. I don't want to color too much of the ink. I'm sorry, the yellow cardstock with my ink. Alright, I might have done just a little more than I normally do. Then I'm going to put my little distress inks on there. And I use my finger. I know somebody probably out there is going to say, well, why didn't you use an applicator? Well, this one was free. Of course, my husband wouldn't tell you it's free. It cost him a lot of money. Alright, and I'm just going to bring them out. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on camera because you all know how to use a heat tool. But if you heat these up, you get a totally different look. Just going to put a little yellow around the edges. And that just adds the little sparkle. And then, of course, you would be wearing your little apron so you could wipe your finger off, but I forgot my apron, so I'll just wipe it on here for now. And there's your little flower. Isn't that just gorgeous? Now, of course, like I said, we would go ahead and heat that up. And when you do, the little crystals in your flowers just sparkle like little diamonds in there. So, that's how you do the nestabilities with the Heartfelt Creations stamps. And you have to go and look because I'm not kidding you. They are absolutely awesome the way each one fits with a different nestability flower. I'm not a nestability flower person because I have my Cricut and I cut a lot, but I got to tell you, I am now. So make sure to stop over at cropstop.com and get yourself some of these awesome stamps from Heartfelt Creations. And don't forget your nestabilities. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.